Alright, so here's where we are with the 86 C10. Got the bed off of it. Thank you to the guys that helped me take that off and set her down on some skids, and thanks to Joe for helping me cut all those bolts out. Those were a pain in the butt. Most of those holes, they're supposed to look like that, square. Most of them are pretty round. Wasn't any fun, but bed had to come off because that gas tank's got to come off. I just pressure washed it this morning, so I got a lot of work to do. You know, she's got some rust and scale, but that should all grind off, clean up, get the cheek poker on it. Here's the reason for tearing all this down. That's rotted off, so it was blowing return fuel all over the top lid. So I bought a new sending unit. We'll get that replaced hopefully this week. Get that taken care of, replace those lines. Got a new filler line for it. Using the old transmission jack to help keep that thing stable until I get her undone and down. Hopefully that works out nice. Might even be able to use the strap on it. We'll see. But that's what she looks like. Once it's dry, I got to go shoot PB blaster again everywhere. But at least I got a lot of the grease and grime off of it. The rest of it's just going to be a lot of manual labor with the cheek poker and, you know, getting that stuff down, painted, primed. And once I get that tank down and sending unit replaced, and I can fire it up and finally tune it. I've not had it running long enough. There's that vent line too. I got to replace that vent line. It's capped off, but I got to get her fired up, warmed up. I've not had it running long enough to do that. Starts fine. Runs pretty good for the initial timing, but I want to get it tuned and timed and warmed up, make sure everything works and the transmission works and the cooling system does cooling stuff, and then we're going to get her in the shop over there and go to town on it. So that's it for right now. Catch you later.
So here we are a couple of days later, and I got her running again and said, we're going in the shop. We got battery charging. We got oil pieces. Coolant circulate, come up temperature. I still got to tune it, but we're driving her to the shop. Well, maybe. Oh, those brakes aren't real good. Brakes are not real good. And I got a stick and brake. It is going in that hole here in a bit. I gotta go clean up a spot. Yeah, still needs a lot of tuning.
Caballero. That's the other project.
So this is how she sounds after a little bit of tuning by ear. The timing light I bought was a piece of shit. I'll show it later. Don't buy that piece of crap.
All right, let's do a little update on the C10. It is in the shop. Drove in under its own power. Got the bumper off of it. Sitting up on top. Hitch is not in bad shape, but I do have a spot over here that appears to be welded that I'll have to cut. And we'll take it off, clean it up. I'll probably put it back on. Plan long run. Paint this thing up like the car. Cowl hoods on both, black deck stripes, get a trailer that matches, and haul on both car shows. So let's get a look in here. She's a little rusty. I did a little grinding over here, just knocking it off with a cheek poker. Lots of surface rust. I put some Osfo on this. Let's just see what it does. But she's crusty. Got a new stainless exhaust on there, just homemade shit from Amazon pieces. Fuel tank's got to come out. Return line right there capped off because it was rotted off. Got a new sending unit, but you can't put a sending unit on these things without dropping the damn tank. Bolts are all just froze all to hell. I cut the strap on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and get new mounts and everything. It was just a pain in the butt. I'm gonna have to have new cab mounts too, but I don't know, makeshift. That's how I got her in. There's my return tank. My vent still holds a lot of pressure in that tank, and have to leave the new cap loose, or that tank will just build tons of pressure on it. But it runs pretty good. I'll show a clip of that here too. So front end, I popped the front wheel off because I thought this caliper was sticking. It was initially, but come to find out that the brake line's not even hooked up. It's just kind of capped off up there and zip tied. PV blastered a lot of this stuff because this whole front end's coming out. Gonna replace uppers, lowers, pretty much everything in here. Rotors, I'll probably rebuild those. Bearings seem okay, but they'll get new. Went ahead and pulled the calipers off because I think there's two different kinds of calipers you can get for this, and I wanted to make sure I got the right ones. Come here, damn it. I need a picture of you. So I'm buying new calipers, new brake lines, definitely new shocks. Oh yeah, speaking of shocks, I'll show you these rears. Both of them are the same way. They are jacked. They're not supposed to do that. You can see where they're busted out, so we'll weld some pipe in there or something and fix that up. Not sure 100% what I'm going to do with this. It's possible. It's an 8-foot bed. We'll say it's plausible we might make a short bed out of it. I'm not sure. Not sure if I can do that. I mean, I think the frame part would be no problem. It's the cutting the bed down that might be, but I guess I could always buy a short bed for it. So yeah, front end is gonna get replaced. It's gonna need a new front bumper. That thing's screwed. I don't think there's any way of pulling any of that crap out. But she runs pretty good. Timing light, I bought a cheap one and it didn't work very well at all. Well, actually, it didn't work at all. I'll show you that piece of shit so you guys don't buy one. Stay away from this. Cheap Amazon. OBD monster. Doesn't even work at all. And unfortunately, I was past my 30-day return, so I did buy a new one, this Innova, and it's got the advance on it plus RPM, which is good. I need that. I don't have a tack in this thing. So right now, what is it, 11.5? Yep, 11/5/24. That's where we are. Peace.